Hello everyone, welcome to Evening Storytime. I have two books that I thought I would share with you tonight. The first one, they're brand new books that came into the library this week. The first one is called Little Bear's Treasures, and it is written and illustrated by Stella Dries. I like the illustrations in this book. This is a lovely little story about a bear and his friend, who you will soon meet. Okay, so I am reading this book with permission from Greystone Kids. Little Bear's Treasures by Stella Dries. Little Bear examined his treasures, a shiny button, tickly feathers, a soft cloud, a handy clothespin, a cozy hiding place, a shy piece of fluff. A magic stick, endless dust to dance in, and a bush brimming with blueberries. Wow, so many. Little Bear hummed happily. Little Bear was a great treasure finder. That's right, a treasure finder, because he didn't look for his treasures, he found them everywhere. And he shared the news about his treasures with everyone he met. Do you see what that donkey is doing? You see what it has in its hand? Looks like a comb. And he's combing the tip of his tail. But as hard as he tried, no one listened or really understood. Treasures? The other animals shook their heads. Those aren't treasures, they're just junk. Eventually, Little Bear stopped sharing. He became quiet, and his little nose drooped down low. He sighed sadly. "Watch out, or your nose will hit a root," said a voice. Little Bear jumped. "Who said that?" "Up here," piped the voice. Little Bear looked up. It was a little bird on top of his head. "What are you doing with your nose so low?" Little Bear explained. "I like to find treasure, like," he pointed, "like this stick." "Ooh, a magic stick," said Little Bird. Little Bear's nose perked up. Little Bird understood. "Can I find treasure with you?" Little Bird chirped. Little Bear didn't need to be asked twice. Off they went. And oh, what they found. Together they discovered a tree bark boat, thinking hats. Do you see what they're putting on their heads? Those look like little seed pods. And they're calling them thinking hats and a tree bark boat. Wow, they're finding lots of nice things in nature, right? Some glittering fish. Oh my. Look at all those fish and a very large shark. A swingy tree, a bunch of bats, A log for trumpeting, a giant mushroom. Do you see the little hedgehog? Look at that. Is that Little Bear? Yes. When Little Bear blew and trumpeted in the log, he blew that little hedgehog right up out of it. That is a giant mushroom. A mysterious fog. Ooh. A furry rock. A crown for the bear and one for the bird. And so it went on, because when treasures are shared, they multiply. You know what's on the furry rock, right? That's moss. And look at the crowns that they have on their head. They're made of flowers. Soon nighttime fell. The blossoms tucked themselves into bed. The sun slipped away to give way to the moon. And somewhere between the sky and the earth, the little bear and the little bird stood still. Oh, was all they could say. This was a true bear-bird treasure. Look at that beautiful night sky. They stood there like two kings and counted the stars until Little Bird started to snore. Little Bear felt like the happiest bear in the whole world. He listened for a long time, so long that snow, or was it stardust, sprinkled his fur, and he thought about treasure, how you can find treasure, how treasure can find you, how the best treasures are the kind that snore, and how snoring can be quite contagious. Then they snored and they dreamed about a bear and a bird. Wow. So it seems to me that Little Bear found his true treasure in his friendship with Little Bird. Don't you think? I just love the way Little Bear collected things, feathers and buttons and, well, it says a bush brimming with blueberries. That's not something you can collect and bring indoors, right? But it is a treasure. Oh boy, a magic stick, all these lovely little things. And then he found the greatest treasure of all. And I think that when they looked at the night sky, that certainly was another treasure, wasn't it? In our beautiful, beautiful world. And remember when he says at the end, he's thinking about treasure, and he says, sometimes you can find treasure, but sometimes treasure can find you. Like when he spotted the little bird on his head. The treasure, the little bird, found Little Bear. Oh boy. There's nothing more precious in the world than other people and friends, right? Our family and friends. Okay, well, that's Little Bear's Treasures by Stella Dries. And I have a second book, and it is also about friendship, but it's funnier than that one. And it's called Oliver and the Curious Owl. And when I say it's funnier, I think it's just that the illustrations are so funny. And it's written and illustrated by Chad Otis. And I am reading this book with permission from Little Brown and Company. So let's get started. Oliver the Curious Owl. The owl family had everything they needed in their big tree. It was very quiet and very safe, so they never ventured far. Let's see. There seems to be a mother owl. She's taking care of the newest egg. There's a little, the illustrator drew something to let you see that the egg is, the animal inside is moving, the little bird inside. And there's Daddy. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little owls. This will be the 6th one, huh? Okay, the only question they ever asked was, you know the answer. Say it. Who? Look. Who? But Oliver was new to the family. There he is. He comes out of the egg. And he asked lots of other questions. Who? What? When? Where? Why? Those are good questions. Soon, Oliver knew the answer to every question he had about being an owl. Now he wanted to learn about life outside the big tree. Who lives in those faraway woods? No one knows, Oliver. Where does the river go, Dad? Don't leave the tree, Oliver. Why can't I leave the tree, Mom? You might get lost, Oliver. Eep. Look. Eep. Then one day, he met someone else who asked lots of questions. Eep. My name? Oliver. Eep. I'm an owl. What are you? What's your name? Eep, eep. You're a bug whose name is Bug? Eep. No, I like it. Oliver and Bug became best friends. No one else seemed curious about the world outside the big tree besides them. Together, they could imagine who and what they might discover if they followed the river to its end. But every time Bug suggested they go exploring, Oliver decided it was safer to stay home. He was afraid they might get lost. Then one night, snap! Bug fell into the river. Goodness, the branch that he was on snapped and was quickly swept far from the big tree. Oliver didn't know what to do. He paced, he hopped, he chirped, chirped, chirped. And then he leaped from the big tree and chased after his friend. When Oliver reached the faraway woods, he was surrounded by strange new things. As he searched for Bug, he met new animals too. And he says to the bats, "Hi there. Why are we upside down? Why are your ears so big? Where does this river go? Of course, he had a lot of questions. What does he meet here? A beaver. What are you building? Why are you eating wood? You saw my friend float by? When? What's this animal? Uh-oh. Looks like an alligator to me. What are all those teeth for? Why do your eyes glow? A waterfall? Where? Oliver raced toward his friend as fast as he could. He races to the waterfall just in time to see Bug go over the falls. He swooped down and scooped Bug up just in time. They burst from the cool darkness of the woods. It was the end of the river, and it was more incredible than they had imagined. Oliver and Bug were very far from home, but they couldn't stop now. Wow. There's some seals. There's some crabs. There's whales. Looks like pelicans and seagulls. Oh my, turtles on the shore. Wow. They made new friends, tried new things, explored new places, and even ate new foods. Now they were very far from home, and they'd never had so much fun in their lives. Look at where he's eating new foods. Looks like that animal is having some seaweed. An owl took it. Wow. They are having fun, it looks like. They're discovering new things and meeting new friends. Suddenly, the sky turned dark. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. The wind twisted and the rain fell harder. Everything looked strange and different. They were lost. Oliver began to think maybe they shouldn't have explored all day or gone so far from home. Maybe they should have stayed in their safe, big tree. But then Bug had an idea. Eep! If they followed all the who's, what's, when's, where's, and why's they had asked that day, it might lead them back to the big tree. Do you see the owls in the tree? Looks like they made it home okay. Oliver's family had been very worried. They hugged him tight and told him never to leave home again. But that night, Oliver and Bug told their family all about the amazing world they had discovered beyond the big tree. And they said they would be very sad if they never got to see it again. So the next day, you see the explanation of the beautiful world that they discovered? So the next day, everyone followed Oliver and Bug. They had lots of questions. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. The end. There's a little bit of text here, and it says, "Are you curious about the animals in this book?" And there's a couple of little facts. You probably know them already. Bats hang upside down because it's easier for them to start flying from that position. Bats do most of their hunting at night when it's hard to see, so they make high-pitched squeaking noises and wait for the echoes to come back to their big ears, telling them where to find food. And the next one says, beavers really do eat wood, but only small branches, bark, and twigs. Their teeth never stop growing, and chewing wood prevents their teeth from getting too large. It also keeps their teeth sharp, which helps beavers cut down trees to build dams and lodges. That's what we call their homes. All right, alligators don't chew their food, even though they have lots of teeth. Remember when Owl asked the alligator, "Why do you have so many teeth?" Even though they have lots of teeth, alligators use them to grab prey, then swallow it whole. Alligators hunt mostly at night, and they have special eyes that reflect light to help them see in the dark. It sometimes looks like their eyes are glowing. I know that other animals also, it looks like their eyes are glowing at night. Cats and dogs. And you know what? I'm going to have to look up some fish, I think. Okay. Well, that's Oliver the Curious Owl by Chad Otis, and Little Bear's Treasures, let me get it in my hand, by Stella Dries. I hope you enjoyed those two stories and that you have a wonderful evening. Good night.